Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the number one home for personal development. My name is Ken Billions, if you didn't know. You are at the right place at the right time. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate that. This is a place where you come in ordinary and you leave extraordinary. This is a place where you come in way and you leave another way, right? Let me see. If you can see me, press one, and if you can hear me, press two. Make sure we're live. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I appreciate that. All right, just want to make sure. All right. Welcome. Welcome. My name is Ken Billions. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. This is going to be an incredible conversation. This is the number one home for personal development. This is ministry for the abstract mind, and it's a safe space for everybody out there that has an out-the-box philosophy. If you can see me, press one, and if you can hear me, press two. This is heaven on earth. This is a place for people to come and grow. This is a place for people to come and transform. This is a place where you're safe. And you know my saying, personal development is for everybody, right? Personal development is for the gays. Personal development is for the straights. Personal development is for everybody, right? This Sunday, we will start our first, and it's going to be a shadow week course. And it is, this course I'm going to start with men, and it's going to be a shadow week course. And this course is called Shadow Work for the Male Body. And this is going to be a members only conversation. This will be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this conversation is only for members. And it's going to be a personal conversation, meaning that it's going to get very, very deep. And if you got sons or brothers, or if you're a woman and you're with a man, you may want to be a part of this conversation. But the topic, though, is really for men, and it's shadow work for the male body. That's this Sunday. I'll do an announcement on my community wall. It's this Sunday, and the time will be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. It's called Shadow Work for the Male Body. All right. So go ahead and get your membership. Meet me over there on Sundays. We're going to do those every Sunday until we have some breakthroughs. So I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to you being there. All right. Send me super positive energy through the internet for this specific conversation. So I'm going to put you in my business a little bit. And hopefully, me putting you in my business, you could get the personal development lessons out of it. Okay? So, we are humans first. First, before anything. We're in the clubs. We frolicking. We thotting. We drinking. We hustling. We traveling. We whoring. We're doing all this shit, right? We're touching things to see if it's hot. We're experiencing different cycles in our life. Our bodies is changing. We got hair in places we didn't know we had hair. We're getting money. We are traveling. We're making friends. We're going through life, just lifing, getting all these experiences, coming, going, crying, breakups, scamming, you name it. We're out here doing it, right? And then one day, if you're a woman, you're late on your period. You call the dude and say, hey, I'm late. What you want to do? Right? He either tells you get rid of the shit or he gonna rock with you, right? He got a history. You got a history. And then one day, she's late. Y'all decide to rock it out, whatever. in her pregnancy, y'all still have history, right? Whatever he was doing, whatever she was doing, it comes with the pregnancy, right? Now the baby that's in the belly don't know nothing about this shit. He don't know mama was a hoe. He don't know daddy was a scammer. He don't know daddy was in the military. He don't know mama was in college or she. These babies don't know that because they in the womb doing their thing, right? But we're living life, okay? And then all of a sudden, the baby gets here, right? Now the baby only knows these people as mother and father. The world knows them as something different. The world knows your dad as a coworker. The world knows your father as somebody that comes in the bar and orders a mudslide. The world knows your mom as a hairdresser. Her client sit in her chair and have conversations with your mom that you don't even know about. The world has experienced your mother and father in a completely different way than you. Completely different way than you. All right. Our conversation today is mother womb. How to separate the mother from the woman. Now, remember the little storyline I just gave you. Remember that, right? About how these babies don't know who the hell their parents are. You only know them as mom and dad, right? Okay. Reptiles, mammals. Reptiles and mammals. Reptiles are born in eggs, right? Mammals have live births. Why is that important? Because everything you see in nature exists in human beings. So if there is a reptile species in the animal world, those characteristics also exist in humans. Mammal species, they have a specific behavior and they have specific characteristics. Those behaviors and characteristics are just not exclusive to the animal kingdom. Those behaviors and characteristics are also inside of human beings. There is a reptile type of human and a mammal type of human. There's the reptiles, when they hatch, they got to fend for themselves. Mammals get fed. Now, interesting thing about a bird, though. A bird has reptile and mammal characteristics. Birds are born out of eggs, but they are fed by their parents. In the reptile kingdom, reptiles aren't fed. They hatch out of the egg and have to fend for themselves. But something very interesting about a bird, though, because a bird has mammal characteristics and a reptile characteristics. So in the human world, though, some mommies and daddies are reptiles and mammals. A reptile parent leaves the children to fend for themselves. A mammal parent is very close with their babies. It's important for you to assess your mother and father, and based on their behavior that they showed you, are they mammals or are they reptiles? And don't put any other judgment on it but that. Because if your mother or father is a reptile, that is the reason why you spent so much time alone. That is the reason why you had to learn to cook on your own. That is the reason why they was never there for you on an intimate level. Because reptiles don't do that. Reptiles hatch the egg. They'll even stay in the vicinity of the egg, right? Until those babies hatch, and then they go to the water. Now, if you ever seen turtles, little turtles coming down a beach, the probability rate of them surviving is low, okay? So the ones that survive they're with the shit, right? But when you look at the mammal world, baby calves feed off their mothers, right? When you look at the mammal world, baby calves are nurtured and sometimes by herds. Like, look at elephants. When you grow up in an environment with a herd around you, your psychology is different. It's way different than the child that had to fend for themselves. Now, the reptile or the mammal is not negative or positive, it's just nature. The human mammal and reptile is just nature. I am born from a reptile mother. Okay? So she didn't have the characteristics of a mammal. She wasn't touchy. She wasn't nurturing in the sense of a mammal. I'll talk about her type of nurturing in a second. I don't know too much about my daddy shit, right? But for them to be together and have a baby, there's some type of commonality that they share, right? So my mom was a reptile mom. So I'm going to introduce you to my mom right now. I'm going to give you a little timeline, which makes me, when I do the timeline and I think about it, it makes me understand certain things, okay? For you to move forward as a person, you have to understand certain things about your mother and your father, about your grandparents, about the people in your family. It's important to know how it got there, whatever you're seeing, so you can address your own dysfunctions. Because a lot of times we internalize shit, and even though it's happening to you, it's not personal. It's just certain things are baked into the character of the people doing the thing. And you may assume that it's you. Okay? So I'm going to introduce you to my mom. And we're going to go through a timeline real quick. Okay? All right. Ever want to hear shit? Oh, you couldn't hear anything. Oh, okay. Okay. You couldn't hear anything. Okay. It's how I uploaded it. 1 second. Because I actually want you to see it. 1 second. Can you hear things now? I thought that you could hear things. Okay. All right. So we'll do the timeline. Okay. So can you hear me now? Press 1 in the chat if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? What about now? Can you hear me? If you can hear, okay. All right. So okay. So you seen the face, right? You seen the face. So I was talking. All right. So that guy that was in the video, his name is Clinton, right? So my mother was had a baby at 14, and another one at 16, and she was married to that man, right? So Clinton couldn't keep his hands to himself. This is my older sister's daddy. He's gone now. So he used to put foot to ass to my mama. Okay. So I don't ever want to hear anything about blackmail, this and oppression. Niggas oppress my mom. Okay. This man beat the fuck out of my mother. Okay. So I don't ever want to hear how the blackmail is this. Yeah, nigga. Because when I think about what my mother wasn't able to give to her babies, a lot of it stems for her interaction with males. Okay. I guess she got to choose better, right? But let me guess, not all. I don't give a fuck, right? That man put foot to ass to my mom. Also, the first baby that she has is not from Clinton. The first baby she has is a rape child. This is the story that I have. This is my sister, right? This is the story that I have. So, if that story is correct, my mother is raped. She's pregnant at 13. She has a baby at 14. By the time she's 16, she's with this man. So she has a fucked up womb. She's married with 2 children at 16, dark skinned back in the day. I don't want to hear shit about blackmail, nothing. Seriously. Miss me with that shit. Oh, the blackmail. Man, please. Y'all, no one was thinking about my mom. All right. Me not knowing this and born to her womb 10 years later from that picture. How could I ask to be loved? Remember, this is back in the day. People didn't have all the NLP. People didn't have, all these books that we have, all this meditation that we have. No one talked about shadow work. No one talked about healing. This was a dark-skinned woman in the 60s and the 70s who had beautiful fucking skin. And she got made fun of because she was dark. Now, when I'm born and I'm young and my mom is nowhere to be found in terms of intimacy, and I don't know why, this begins the process of thinking you're unworthy. But see, is my mom a reptile right now or is she a mammal? See, I don't know what she was naturally. When I was introduced to Barb, she was a reptile. But I connect the dots and say, well, I get it and I understand why you may have moved like this. But because I know what I know, you can't conscious community the blackmail shit with me, right? Because I have firsthand witness of what niggas do, right? Okay. So that's mama right there, right? So this is before me. So in that picture that I showed you, she's about 16 or 17. She's a married woman with 2 children. One of those children is from rape that they covered up. So they made a 14-year-old child have a fucking baby, right? And the dude, I believe, is older. Okay. I'm gonna show you a happy picture of mama. Here goes a happy picture. So that right there, that was West Point. My mama found a nigga to marry her, an immigrant dude who was a grinder, Jamaican cat, right? You couldn't really see the picture, but mama was happy. She was super duper happy, right? She was with this Jamaican dude. She was with this immigrant dude who had property, all type of shit. This nigga had money. I think he was selling big dope. He could fix everything, apartment buildings down in Baltimore, all type of shit. We knew him because he would fix things for us. Straight fucking grinder. Straight grinder. Okay? But mama was happy. All right? But mama not supposed to be married. My mom is not a wife. A lot of women are not a wife. And let me tell you what I mean by that. If you're a woman and you could find a person where you can take the relationship you have with a person and say, this is marriage to us, fine. But the ideal of marriage, that wasn't for my mama, right? See, she needed this though for her psyche, like most women. Most women don't want the man, you just want the wedding, right? And you just need to check that off on your list of shit that you did. You found a nigga to walk you down the aisle. It was you had a great day and all the attention was on you. That's a lot of people, right? But that woman was not supposed to be a wife because the man, he's Jamaican, right? He's very, you know, patriarchal in his thinking, right? And my mom is the wrong bitch to be patriarchal. No, right? So she ain't falling in line. None of that shit, right? For real, my mom was supposed to be someone's fucking jump off. She was supposed to be someone's whore. And that's that. Find you a dude that rock with you tough and just be his fucking whore for the rest of your life and y'all have companionship. That's my mom, right? She was not supposed to be somebody's wife. Karen, how could you say your mom's supposed to be somebody's whore? Clearly she was fucking before I got here. That's the human. Separate the parent from being human. Why we act like this shit doesn't happen? Like your mama don't suck dick. Everybody does. So you can't entertain it because there's a thing on it because that's your mom and you need to see her in a certain type of way. That's the heartbreak though. The fact that you need to see your mother in this Claire Huxtable shit. And if you got one like that, cool, but she has a shadow side as well, right? There's family secrets as well, right? So that picture that I showed you, they didn't stay married that long because just for her chaos in her mind, she needed that even though she was not a wife. All right. So that was years ago. What I'm about to show you is the last time my mom was healthy before she went back to the streets. And you'll see a difference, right? There's a thing in our family where we're naturally stocky, we're naturally plump, big, or whatever. And if you don't control the shit, your ass gonna blow up like a balloon. Trust me, it happened to me, right? So my mom is supposed to be fat Barb. So what I'm about to show you is the last time she was on the up and up. Okay. So she got my son in her hand. On the left side is my son's auntie that just passed away. And on the right side is my son's granny. Okay. She came to Arizona, caused chaos like she does. Right. But this was the last time she was on the up and up. Okay. This was the last time I seen her like this. She caused chaos. And then from there, I don't get a call until she's in South Carolina. My mom still had niggas putting hands on her in her 40s and 50s. She went back to that shit. You feel me? That's why I said she wasn't supposed to be no fucking wife. She's supposed to come and go. She cannot stay somewhere too long because she still was that little girl that got raped. Okay? So right there, she caused a lot of chaos, right? Because she's just naturally messy. She can't be somewhere too long. Now, look at what I showed you. Look at what I showed you. That was Fat Barb. Okay. Now, my mom always dabbled in the streets, right? What I showed you is Fat Barb. This is what happened when my mama went back to the streets. And this is probably within 2 years. No judgment. It is what it is. Personal development, right? Right? So how you go from here? How you go from Fat Barb? How you get? You would think that's 10 years apart. How did this person, now mind you, this is, remember the baby picture I showed you of my mama when she was young in her teenage. How does a woman go with skin like that, right? Let me tell you, fucking with men in the streets, right? So she has 3 kids, right? So she went back to the shit that she had going on in her mind. She's a foster child. She's all this shit, right? Guess what I'm doing at this time when my mama looked like that image? That she's calling me for random shit. Let me get $40. I'm going crazy because I'm blowing up on the internet, right? I'm 6-bedroom house. I got the Benz. I got the business, the hair shop. I'm doing my thing. How am I doing my thing, but my mama over here look like the bag lady? You would think that I didn't give a fuck about my mama. When the truth is, I let her come live with me 6 times, totally disrespected my household, totally tried to ruin my shit. Because my mom and I, we had a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. So you would think a mother, when she's has an issue with her child, she's going to call you on the phone and address the issue. Now my mom gonna give you a long ass text thread. You're gonna think that I'm arguing back with my bitch, but that's how she approached it. That she was my bitch. The streets. Now, what I'm about to show you, the last one, I'll just show you. So that's my niece Khadijah kissing my mama, and that's hospice right there. And then she dies a couple days later, right? So my mama's not fucking with me at this time. I'm driving up from DC to Delaware for a person that I knew wouldn't pull up to me. And I'm there. She got there because liver failure. But when they're going through all her shit, they found like a crack pipe and all that. She in a house, she in and out of rooms with a man. With a man. Because of my mom, I tried my best to not be in a woman's way. Like for real. Like for real. I tried my best to support, but not be in a woman's way. Right. I'm sure have because it's just part of the male meat suit to get in a bitch's way. But I've tried my best because I know how men trip my mama up. Nobody ever came to give. You know what I'm saying? Like no one ever came to give. So when you're looking at that, that was her right before she died. That looked like a 90-year-old person. She wasn't even 60, right? So make sure you get a hold of your shit because whatever is in your mind, that shit's gonna catch up to you. It's only so much you can run, it's only so much you could drive, it's only so much you could party it away. When your body slows down, you still got the memories, right? So Miss Barb right there, she couldn't escape the memories, right? She couldn't escape the shit that happened to her. She's not even wasn't even 60 right there, right? That was 7 years ago. So anywho, so the day that she dies, I'm sitting next to her, right? So I'm sitting next to her and I'm just looking, right? I'm like, this shit is weird. So she got her eyes like half open. And she's taking breaths like this. And then I notice it's like 30 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck? So she takes another breath. This time I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, yo, a minute. Then the next one, done. If you've never seen a human die in front of you, it is the craziest shit to see a life leave out of somebody, right? And to see rigor mortis set in to where the hand that you was rubbing now, you can't push it down like that because, you know what I'm saying? So like to see somebody go like that, and I didn't cry. I just said, "Oh, Barb," which would have a major effect on me because I didn't let it out. See, I thought when I was sitting by her bedside and I was releasing her, here's why I kind of got a grudge with you loving light niggas. This loving light and all that. See, I was doing that shit. So when my mama was on the bed, I'm loving light in her, and she don't fuck with me, and I release you, and you don't gotta find me. I'm just now grieving over that dumbass shit. Do you know why? Because what I should have said is, bitch, I don't like you. You ruined my fucking life. I don't like how you look. I don't like how you didn't support me. I don't like that fact that I can't find no baby pictures of me. I don't fucking like you. And I am so thankful that you are not getting up from here because now I'm fucking released. Had I said that, I believe I would have been over it because I love you because I have to, but I don't like you. You're fucking weak. You didn't protect your children. You never fought. You messy. All that shit. So I'm talking as a mother. But because love and light, I didn't say how I really felt. The fact that she died right there, right in front of me instead of a fucking park bench, she transferred her bullshit to me. Because I'm still kind of like, man, fuck this healing shit. I want this bitch to go straight up. But nah, healing. You know what I'm saying? Love them through it. But that ain't that what y'all say? But that's your mom though. When somebody is venting to you about their shit, you hear what they're saying and be like, everybody fights, it's okay. But that's your mom though. A person is telling you they're fucking being abused by a person, mistreated by a person, neglected by a person. And you know what niggas say? But that's your mom, though. No, this bitch is fucking my life up. I know, but give her grace. I'm dying. I know, but give her grace. No. If them babies come to you, if that man come to you, if that woman come to you, and she say, fuck that bitch, let her vent. Let him vent. Let them feel that shit. That's real, raw emotions. They're not getting what they think they should. That's the problem. The fact they think they should get something. We'll get into that in a second. When I was standing over this individual, I'm deleting all the times where she's left me hanging. I'm in fourth grade and I'm suicidal and I don't know what to do about this. I'm deleting, hey, yo, your boyfriend's son, he put his hands on me when we're sleeping. You still fuck with the nigga? I'm deleting, hey, your boyfriend, when I came out, he was jerking off. You stayed with him? I'm deleting when hey, remember that guy Ramel, his son, he used to touch me. I'm deleting all this shit. In exchange, right, for love and light, right? When you do that dumbass shit, you are being artificial, because how you feel, that's the real feeling. If it's fuck your dad, it's fuck your dad. If it's fuck your mom, it's fuck your mom. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the portal that you decided to come through. That's your real feelings, right? This has nothing to do with the human. This has everything to do with the role that you were born into in regards to them. As a father and mother, y'all not shit. Move that to the side. As a human, I see you. That's some real shadow work to separate the people that have fucked you over and put them in a certain category. Is this a mammal or a reptile? You did something to me as a mother and a father, but did you do something to me as a human? Two different things, right? Two different things. Okay? In your healing journey, you fuck love and light. Fuck that. Feel everything. Some days I can't stand that nigga. Some days I love that nigga. Feel it all, because it's what we come here to do in humanity. We come to feel shit. Because when we jump out this body, we don't feel nothing. So while we're here, feel something, right? I've been connected to people and I've brushed up against them. And on the strength that, because they love me, what I'm doing to them, they're not feeling it. They're shutting it down. And that's not fair to them. That's not, I need to know that I hurt you. I was wrong, right? And because they feel like, I don't want to put an emotional burden on you to tell you that I'm hurt. I don't want to sound like a nagging woman. I don't want, no. You can't wear that. I gave you a scar. I need to know that I gave you a scar. Because if you don't tell me, that's going to change you. And it takes a real motherfucker to say, to not let the scar change them for the worse, but it's definitely going to change our relationship. You got to bring that shit to me. Now, if when you express to somebody, hey, you hurt me, what you're doing is trying to save the relationship. Because you're making them aware that it looked like I was cool, but I'm not cool, right? And if the person doesn't change after, you have told them that right there, what you said, that convo, what you did, that broke me. But because I want to rock with you, because I love you, because I want to give all of myself to you, I am telling you, you hurt me. And it's so much, people give away so much power when they tell somebody that they're really hurt. So I understand, right? You don't want to let somebody know that got to you. You don't want to let somebody know that you're in pain, right? You don't want to let somebody know that, hey, I'm more sensitive than I lead on. And that, you hurt me, babe. You hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got people in your life that absorb you. There's sometimes where they can absorb. What you said was hurtful, right? And sometimes people hold it to the chest because maybe you got a lot of shit going on. So I don't want to put it on your plate that, you know. So anyone hearing my voice, if I did that to you, if I ever said something to you, if I made you feel like you can't say that you're hurt, that's not cool. You know what I mean? Even the most stoic person deserves a space where they can say they hurt, especially if we are supposed to be this. So if I ever in my life provided a space where a person can be hurt and cry on my shoulder for the hurt that I gave, I I I was under the assumption that just some way somehow even the most intimate relationships are going to be never without conflict. I was under the assumption that I was never going to be the problem. I was never going to give a person the hurt that I run from. It happens, yo. It happens, yo. Even you, no matter how solid you think you are, you hurt somebody. Whether it's your unavailability, whether it's your tone, whether it's your indifference, whether it's the fact you don't want to open up, or maybe you got a mouth on you. Maybe you're so used to being you, like Barb was so used to being Barb, she didn't realize your cubs are fucked up because she was so used to being her. You are older longer than you are younger. Okay. If you're in your 40s and 50s, don't play with your relationships. Because this stretch right here, you got to keep them tight. I used to think I could just go out into the world and just meet people and make friends. You can, right? But the next 20 years, I'm 41. Like, I got to keep people close. Because this is a long stretch. We might go to fucking 80. And if we make it that far, you're going to need people in your life that have told you you are wilding. You need people in your life that have threatened to leave you. You need people in your life that have questioned, should I keep doing this with you? You need that. Because that's real. If you don't have nobody in your life and they never thought about leaving you and they never thought that maybe I could do better, that shit ain't real. Y'all ain't been through nothing. Y'all ain't been through nothing. I don't give a fuck. You married, whatever. You never thought about divorce? Never? 15 years, 10 years, 20 years? You never thought about divorce. Never thought about fucking somebody? Never? Y'all plastic people. You've never felt that emotion of like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. You never? You've never cried on someone's shoulder that hurt you? And they didn't see you? Right? You're expressing to them what's going on and they hear something different. They're reframing what you're saying, even though you're saying one thing, they're talking to you like you're saying another. You never had that? Well, you better need it. You better find somebody to struggle and hurt with. People talk a lot about struggle. You want to go to long haul with somebody? With the way the world is, and it could just snap just like that, you're gonna need a person that is with you that have thought about leaving you. If you think about leaving somebody and you come back to fuck with them, you know what kind of gift that is. That's especially a person that is amazing, man or woman, and you're almost there, and you're like, you know what? None of y'all never went. Never. And it really hits different if the person is easy on the eyes, him or her, and they got options and they could do this and just like that. They can't recreate y'all bond, but they can definitely, for the most part, fill your space in terms of attention. And they don't. What do you give them? What do you give a person that was really on the outs with you for real? Because they're tired or whatever. Like, what do you give them? Right? I was on my outs with my mom. You know what she could have gave me? If she put the production down that she was holding that weight and she showed up as a human, I would have fucked with her. No teeth in her mouth, anything. I would have fucked with her. Cause I get it. I get it. Right? So let's go to our trusty board. Miss Barb was a human first. So some of the things that happened to Miss Barb, dark skin, nothing wrong with that. But it is if you don't have anybody giving you words of affirmation. So the fact that this was a flaw to her and not a positive, this as a mother, so over here on the mother side, we're going to look at all the human shit, right? And so we're going to put a negative. Because what's she going to say to her babies? Because she's not confident. Okay? So if your parent is dark skinned or there's texturism, featureism, or have experienced all these disparaging things that go on in society, if your parents have experienced that before you got here, the words of affirmation that you're looking for from them ain't coming. The you're great, you're amazing, it ain't coming. It's not coming. They can't do it. Right? They can't. They don't even have the bandwidth to look at what you're doing in your life and say you're amazing. You know, you on the bike, look, mommy, look. Yo, we never grow out of that shit. Why you think when a man get a girlfriend and shit, he always trying to look, babe, look, rubber baby bubby bunkers, rubber baby bubby bunkers. He's fucking doing shit because we're always in that state. Like, it's something I had to admit that we all still want that. Even as grown-ups, we want to be seen. We want people to admire us. We are never in a world alone, like we say. No, we need people to see us. Like, imagine Whitney Houston if nobody could hear her. Imagine a Picasso, a Rembrandt, a Andy Warhol if nobody can look at your shit. What is The Godfather if no one's in the seats? What is the NBA game? Like, what if you couldn't witness Michael Jordan's greatest? We need each other in that space. Hey, I need you to see if I'm dope or not. And when it's not there, we die. So anybody listening, I know what a hard heart feels like. I don't care if people say, no, I care. Because if I was just riding around in the world and no one is looking at me, guess where I would stay? In the mirror. Because and the crazy thing about it is that's what like social media has done to us. That we have completely said, I don't want the world to look at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be in my phone. I'm going to perform for my phone. See, when we're making content, we're looking at ourselves. When I have my phone up, I'm looking at myself. When I'm making a video, right? And that's what we all have done. We all have basically said, I don't want the world looking at me, so I'm going to look at me. But then on the flip side, we upload the video so the world can look at us. We're in the club, in the sections, not even talking to each other. We're in the club on the phone, uploading what we're doing in the club to the cloud. But there's people around us and we're acting fucking stuck up like we don't want to talk to them. You need somebody to say that your hair looks nice. So why'd you do it? You're lying if you say you don't want attention. You might not want sexual attention. You might not want to be always complimented on your looks. Well, you definitely want people to see your body. If you work out, read your book, listen to your song, you know, your model car that you've been working on for your old school. You want to rev that motherfucker up. You want to pull out and people be like, yo, that shit is hard. You want that. And if nobody does, so there's something about human attention. It also works in the negative. So it worked bad for my mom. So instead of looking at her dark skin as such an honor, she looked at it as a curse. Right? And it's funny because a lot of this was women doing this to her. A woman is the one that covered my mom's rape up. Because it was her dude that did it. So women are complicit in this shit too. I just got smoked for men for what they did to my mom. Right? So her human, as a human, dark skin. Right? My mom was in foster care. So my mom's mom, Lillian, lost her children. Okay? So makes me understand my wiring more and more. Barb's dad was killed by her mother. So I don't call her mom. She's not my mom. She's Barb, right? Because I see her as a human. So Barb, when she was little, her dad, Eugene, was killed by my grandma, right? Doing what niggas do, especially at that time. You know what I'm saying? Women don't got a lot of money, don't got a lot of power, right? So, you know, he doing what niggas do. But my granny lit that ass on fire. Okay? My mom was in a baby. Lillian lost her kids. I think we had my mom got brothers and sisters. Everybody went to foster care. So my mom went to this lady named Miss Banner. I don't know what happened at Miss Banner's. I don't think it was good stuff. So is that a plus or a minus on the mom side? Okay, dark skin, foster care at that time. Daddy dead, killed by mom. The fact that my mom goes to foster care, she hates Miss Lillian. I remember, I didn't even know my grandma like that, but they had such a crazy relationship where my grandma, I heard her say, I'm going to kill y'all when y'all go to sleep. She came to live with us one time. And it was crazy. And Miss Lillian was like, don't go to sleep. I'm going to kill y'all. So that's what they had. So we're going to put a minus over here on the mom. See, I don't know none of this yet because I'm not even born. So all this shit that we do as humans in the world, our children know none of this. None of this. And they come out with rosy eyes and shit like that. And they have an expectation. A mom does this. A dad does this. This is why y'all got to chill with these fucking generalizations. A woman is a nurturer. Wrong. Miss Barb wasn't. So I could only go off that. Where y'all get that from? You don't get it from the Bible because the story of Eve, if y'all believe that was the first bitch that ever lived, where's the story of her nurturing? Where's the story of Eve being a nurturer to Cain and Abel? This is about production and how we make shit up, and it's not even that. Right? When did the narrative of a woman become a nurturer come? Who was the first woman to be the nurturer? Because if you believe that human beings come from Adam and Eve, there's no story in the Bible of her breastfeeding. There's no story of her telling her children that they're great. There's no story of her doing any fucking thing. Besides, her major role is talking to the serpent, which is wisdom. Okay? A man is supposed to protect and provide. But if Adam is the first man that ever existed, shouldn't we look to him as an example of what you say a man is supposed to be? We should be able to track this with the first two human beings. Show me in the Bible where Adam was protecting and providing. When did he get Eve fucking a fast food? When did he bring any liquor, any drink, any chicken, any hog maw, anything? When did he protect her? When did Adam throw hands? When did he pick up a rock and protect Eve? Where do we get this shit from? Oh, movies. Things that we want to be true, but that are not true. Because if something is hardwired and baked into you, we would never say it's supposed to do anything. It would just be. We don't ever say the sun is supposed to shine, because since you was a kid and your granny was a kid and her granny was a kid, that sun has done the same thing. You don't say suppose. Even when it's a cloudy day, the sun is still doing the same thing that it's been doing for 100,000 years, billions of years, doing the same shit, behaving the same way. You don't say suppose. You only say suppose for things that are not true that you would like to be true. So that is false that a man is a protector and a provider. That is false that a woman is naturally nurturing and shit like that. Because if so, we would look inside of history and see the first human beings doing that. And you don't. Because Barb definitely was not no nurturer. So you got dark skin, minus, not looking good on the mom side. Foster care, that's minus, not looking good on the right. So we know about the her daddy, what happened to him. Big moment in Barb's life though. This thing right here. When this happened, my mom got pregnant at 13. Okay? So she has this baby by 14, which is my older sister. Okay? I don't come until my mother is 26 years old. Okay? Look at the shit that I'm mentioning. Now, of course, there's events in the middle of this. But that womb is fucked. And there's no yoni steams at that time. Okay? There's no personal development. There's no, like, the things that people are doing now, really lean into that and really utilize these tools for self-discovery, because people didn't do that shit then, right? So this Barb was 13, pregnant with a baby that 13. But guess what though, too? Makes me think that this played a role. This dark skin. Because the way the society works, dark-skinned people absorb the most pain. You know what I'm saying? So you got the dark skin, you got the foster care, you got the rape. Okay? I'm going to fast forward Here's another one. All these are negatives. Negative right here before I come. Then religion. The religion experience that my mother experienced wasn't transformational. What the black church provides is an outlet to let out your aggression. When we are shouting, that's nothing but fucking pain. That has nothing to do with the spirit. Nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. That is dancing off trauma, molestation, rape, poverty. And we scream and we holler and we do those, it's epigenetics. And we're dancing that shit off, right? While putting it on because the institution also gives you another trauma. So, dark skin foster care rape, the religious experience, right? And then of course she graduates her child into the religious experience. None of this is positive. None of this is positive. But what does this do to Barb though? As a human, okay? So all things considered, right? I'm gonna give that woman some positives. Positive number one. I don't know if I spelled it right. Barb is fucking rebellious. Right? So now I'm going to deal with her strictly as a human. All this shit over here that happened to her as a mom made the bitch trash. But as a human, rebellious. Why does that matter? I got tats on my face. I do what the fuck I want to do. Right? I like rebellious women too. Like, the women I like are crazy as batshit. Like, it's something about the if a woman ends up with me, she can be with another man, but she can't be with another man, if that makes sense. What means is if she is with another man, she rarely, I mean, this nigga must be fucking rich. Like beyond rich. But she's so rebellious, she's gonna end up dying in that shit. So the money has to be so much because she's gonna end up dying. The women that I end up with, men don't tolerate how they behave. The shit that I'm okay with, the shit that I'm down with, other men are not with, right? But that's rebellious from Barb, right? But these women love the hardest too. These women are the most loyal too. These women are the most like, right? If a rebellious woman loves you, it's over. You can do anything. You could take over the world, right? But be careful because she will rebel against you too, right? She's a rebel. You know what I'm saying? She will hurt you, right? A rebellious woman will kill a nigga she loves if he acting crazy, and it will destroy her. You know what I'm saying? So my mother was rebellious. She would not get under no man. I fuck with her because of that. Because I don't want to be under no man. This is what I don't understand. How do men talk about submission when you yourself don't want to be under a man? Why would you preach and promote something to women that you yourself don't like? You don't like a man telling you what to do. Why do you think a woman would? You want to have your own money. You want to have your own car. You want to move and shake. You want to come and go as you please without someone saying shit to you. Why do you think a woman wants what you don't want? Who that in the back? Who that in the back? Who that in the back? Nigga? Who that in the back? Why you want your wife under you in a way where you won't be like that with another man? because you don't like it. So there must be something wrong with it because you don't want her to do it. You don't want to do that shit. You want your own shit, right? But the bitch is only supposed to want your shit and be up on. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. How is it? How is it real love with you and your lady and she can't pick and choose? She has no agency. If you got the money, of course a person gonna dance. If you're in control of the resources, of course somebody's gonna acquiesce to your shit the same way you would to another man. I just need a man to answer me in the chat. And of course you're gonna go to a biblical narrative, right? But the Bible is full of men dominating other men. So you don't like when a man dominates you, but you're okay with that same energy to women. Real righteousness is I want money for myself. I want money for my beloved. I want freedom to learn, to grow for me. And I want the same with my beloved. I want prosperity for myself. And I want the same for my beloved. And you do it together. That's real righteousness. Not I want money, but I have leverage over you. I got a car. I don't want you to have a car so you can need me. Right? That's not. But my mama, you got the right one. You got the right one. See, she wasn't supposed to be a wife. She was supposed to be someone's jump off. A cool ass nigga. And she just pop her pussy when they get together, and that's that. Because the longer they stay around, she's gonna revert back to the child where she was raped and she was violated. She doesn't know how to be in that space alone. Miss Barb was always supposed to run. Get in your car and run. Just run. The same way there's animals in nature, all they do is run. They don't stay in one spot. Miss Barb was supposed to run. So all this that happened to her that made her a trash ass mother, but it made her a dope human to me because I'm rebellious. I tattoo my face. I'm rebellious. I like out the box shit. I like renegades. I like outlaws. I don't like tradition. I don't like conformity. I don't like status quo. I like to do what I like to do. And if I find somebody that likes what I like, it's over. Y'all like the Bonnie and Clyde dynamic only in theory. Do y'all know Bonnie and Clyde used to fuck people together? They used to rob people and then fuck them. They would have dynamics where where she would get close to a rich dude and shit, and they clean him out. But first she get it in first. And then she run back to the car and they high five. Y'all just be talking. Y'all don't really mean Bonnie and Clyde. Y'all don't mean blood in, blood out. Y'all don't really mean gang, gang. You don't got the stomach for it. The reason why I'm down with a lot of shit, Barb gave me the stomach for it. Her emotional unavailability and some shit has thickened my skin for certain things and certain actions and certain behaviors. I'm willing to go further than other people. I'll never be poor because I'm willing to go further than you not to be. Barb put that in me. That rebellion that she had, I'm willing to go further for my goals. I'm willing to go further. I'm willing to not sleep for my goals. I am willing to stay up hours for my goals. I am willing to do what other people are not for a mission. I'm willing to go further for love. Not too many people gonna go further for loyalty and love than me. You're not gonna go further than me. I'll go all the way. with everything though, right? With everything, right? So with that kind of behavior, you have to monitor your crash out, because I'll crash out. You won't, whatever you think you'll do, you won't go further than me. So it's only one person that might go further than me in shit. And during my life. But that's the only person that they might go further than me. I don't know. We have debates about that. Okay. So because of this, all this shit, she gave me rebellion, right? Which I'm so thankful, because it makes me be an entrepreneur. So she also gave me understanding. Under E-U-N. I told you I can't spell. Understanding. Now I'm gonna tell you understanding of what? I understand the human condition. I am a person where you can show up human. You don't have to keep your fronts up in front of me. No matter how I look, I'm probably one of the most understanding people out there, whatever your situation is. No judgment, no shade. I don't care how wild it is. I pride myself on being a person where you can lay your head down and you are safe. And I'm not in your pocket. I'm not counting your money. I'm not recording you on social media. Your business is mine. I take it to the grave. I learned that from dealing with Barb, because I always had the house that runaways would come to. I developed that thing because I seen how my mother was. My Miss Barb needed a me. She needed a me. But black males wasn't evolved at that time. But she needed a me. She didn't need what she was getting. She needed someone who she can just be free with and let her come and go as she please. Right? But you got to be a superior lover to love like that. Right? It's kind of, people will say that Forrest Gump was dumb. Okay? The way that he loved Jenny. And a lot of people will say, I won't do that. See, Forrest was Jenny's friend. Now, Jenny was out in the world doing hella shit. Jenny's only flaw is she didn't know who she was to Forrest. Because Jenny was so being Jenny. She didn't understand what her movements was doing to him. And that man will wait anywhere you tell him to wait, because he believes you're coming. Now Jenny's gonna hop in the car, suck a little dick on the way there, sniff a little coke on the way there, drink, get in a relationship. 5 years done went past. Forrest still sitting over there. Jenny dragging her feet. Forrest is still sitting over there. Right? And Jenny wants to know, Forrest, what is it about me that, why are you still here? I'm so mean to you. I'm so cruel to you. Forrest was loyal to when Jenny was a kid. Do you remember the movie? What was happening to Jenny in her house? And she came to Forrest? He's loyal to that. When people are loyal to that in your life, you have to know who they are to you, because they will suffer beyond belief for you. And while the world call them stupid, you gotta protect people that love like that. They are in love. Y'all made an agreement. Y'all, there people like that are precious. I'm like that. If we're this, I'm that. But I didn't know I had to be protected because I'll sit at that bus stop like far as too, drip down all that shit, fresh as a motherfucker. My people said they coming. My people said they coming. My people said they coming. So I've always had to protect myself from certain movements and organizations because I'm gonna go further. I'm gonna go the farthest. For this thing of ours, right? If you know how to utilize me, it'll change your life forever. You better keep me around. If you think you can swap me out and they don't make me's. And the more that I realize that and I've given that gift to people and not their fault. They wouldn't know how to handle me. Right? But I'm Forrest. I'm gonna sit on there. Yo, you said you coming? Nigga, it's cold. Rain. 10 years passed. Niggas like, the bitch ain't coming, my nigga. Like, no, she coming, dog. I'm an old man. She said she coming. You know what I'm saying? When you make an oath, be careful. Because some people really are that. It's as surprising as it is, as people telling you don't trust nobody. No, there's some of us out here that are really about that thing we said with you. Like, I'll go through it with you. Whatever. And when you have energy like that, you have to protect them. You have to be mindful of who you are to them. You have to know that you have the ability to turn them in psychologically crazy. You know what I'm saying? So Jenny didn't know who Forrest was. And look how the movie ended. You would never think a woman with that kind of life would find peace at the end. Now imagine if she knew who she was to him. What she would have changed, she wouldn't have made him hurt like that. Right? She would have used it, sent the nigga running for years. It's crazy I use that movie because that's me. Like, send me in a rage. Rah! But understanding the reason why people with this character, you go in a rage because you can absorb everything. I can take so much pain, it's fucking insane. Like, psycho, right? I can take so much twists and turns and the shit other people not gonna, I don't know. We are who we are, right? So when people be like, I wouldn't deal with that, I would. See, the thing I know though is the greater the person, the greater the other side you have to absorb. And I'm here for the greatness. I want to be fucking with the legend. And I know what that comes with. Very unpredictable behavior, very, because they're great. So part of their greatness is learning. Part of their greatness is different seasons. And when you're dealing with a person that is striving for greatness, you're going to absorb a lot from them. Dealing with Miss Barb allowed me to absorb a lot. But I only really absorb it. You got to be a legend. If you're a legend, I'll die. I'll get on the cross because you're fucking great. And people are so fucking normal and average and lame. Hell yeah. I'll be sitting on the bench. Hell yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Right? To be a part of something great, to be a part of a legend story, yes. What's the alternative? What's the alternative of what I'm talking about? Normal? What does that look like? Go to work, come home, raise kids, retire 65, no personal development, church on Sundays, The routine, the life that everybody lived before me, that's it. That that's what we're all doing this for. Go to school to find a job, then you find a job and or a college, go to college, and you marry someone out of college, and then what? You literally do the same shit as everybody else. Y'all don't find that weird that it's you're a failure if you don't do the shit that's normal. Millions of people living the same life, and you're graded based on if you can live that life as well. Are you married? What's special about it if everybody can do it? Do you have kids? What's special about it if everybody could do it? And if you're not married and you don't have kids, then you're a failure, and you're graded based on if you have the ability to do what everybody else does, but you're not graded by going a different path. That's like, oh, you're weird. So doing the same shit as everybody's not weird. That's not weird. Wanting the same shit as everybody is not weird. Having the same relationship as a relationship dynamic as everybody, that's weird. How is it that men and women are trained to act and respond the same way to circumstances in a relationship? Example: a married woman is not supposed to stay out after 4 a.m. with her friends. Hey, bro, you're supposed to be mad. Bro, get mad. And you need to respect your husband, because a married woman doesn't come in at that time. Says who? And why the fuck is he supposed to be mad? Why is he supposed to be mad? Because it's disrespectful? Says who? How do you know what their rules are? What if he likes her staying out like that? Because when she come home, she's ready to fuck. You never thought of that, huh? You never thought that he might like his girl in the club because all the attention that she's getting from men. So, you haven't thought about that because you're not rebellious and you're not understanding. That's Ken shit. I never crossed your mind. Because to you, a man is supposed to be mad that his girl is wearing that outfit. He's supposed to. Instead of him looking at his wifey or his girlfriend like a slut, like erotica. You never thought about that. Your thing is niggas a simp. And what you do is because I wouldn't, right? I know, because you're acting how you think a man's supposed to act. Your response is you don't even know why. Everybody at eating, you better serve your man for man, get these goddamn babies some food. Like, who eats first? The man or the babies? You look what kind of production that is. So the rules in this house is I get my food first, then them. But I thought the children were the future. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. So why wouldn't you handle the future first? I'm the past. See, y'all be just talking. You don't believe that. You don't believe that. Why aren't we serving the children? Why would you serve me first instead of us serving them? Do you know what kind of psyche they're going to have that they come first in this house? Get him baby's plate, man. Fuck. First of all, I can make my own plate. Right? Production. That's your wife. That's her wifely duties. Nigga, I'm atheist. Over here, I like bitches that don't like patriarchy and they don't do chores. And they like to fuck and do drugs and hang out and read books and have a good time and go to the movies and listen to rap and all that. Who that in the band and all that shit. Yeah. Fuck all that. We make our own rules. Study me. I'll study you. We'll build a ecosystem around who we are. No, babe, I'm not mad that you went out. What's wrong with you going out? It's 2 o'clock. What's wrong with that? You told me you were safe. But I know as your wife, what the fuck does that mean? That just means if I got any legal shit to go to you, it's gonna go to you. Don't stop being a human. Do the shit that I'm attracted to. I like when you stay out. Cause when you come back, whatever you talking about with these niggas, whatever, however you grinding on these niggas, when you come back here, you're a freak. So do I want you to come back from church or come back from the club? I'd rather you come back from the club. Because I'm rebellious and I'm understanding. I get that because I had to deal with the lady. And the more that I talk about this woman, I'm like, oh, you gave me a lot of goddamn gifts. As much as, see, but I'm separating the mother. See, the mother, I take it personal. Why you couldn't be like Claire Huxtable? Why you couldn't be like Thea? Why you couldn't be like these TV moms? Them TV moms wasn't rebellious. Harriet Window wasn't rebellious. Yo, let's keep it a buck. Carl Winslow was a fucking lame ass cop. No swag. None. Nigga wasn't even a detective. He was a fat, balding cop. And Harriet wasn't rebellious? But we look at that and be like, that's how it's supposed to go. That's black love. Not to me. Not to me. Not to me. Harriet do not look like she was getting banged out at all. And Carl definitely don't look like he was that. But we look at it at the production. Oh, it's a nuclear family. We love image so much. Right? But what's the functionality, yo? Right? You can't fit me into Carl Winslow. I'd never be a cop. And I'd never fuck with Harriet. She don't have enough bodies. So all of this, right, made Barb rebellious. It made me understanding, right? Super powerful trait right here. My mom was delusional. The man that married my mom, by the way, my mom had 3 baby daddies. So when they're talking about high value men, don't do this shit. My mom had 3 baby daddies. And the man that married her had 3 properties, had a restaurant, all the shit. My mom was so delusional, she didn't give a shit. He wanted a housewife, not happening. My mom cooked because she liked to cook. It wasn't exclusive because she had a man. My mom kept a clean house because she kept a clean house. Had nothing to do with a man. He wanted her to be in that wifey app, but she was delusional, which I love because hindsight 2020, I'm delusional. I really think I can make $100 million. I really think I could travel anywhere I want. I really think I could do what I want. I really believe that. I really believe that I'm popping. And the times that I didn't feel like that, I was focusing on the mother part. So feeling bad about myself. How come nobody wants me? I need to be seen, right? Just look at me. When the real thing is, like, if you really want to be seen, do some dope shit. If you want people to look at you, do some dope shit. Don't expect to be seen when you're hiding, right? So delusion that I have from her is out of this world. I really believe that I can tattoo my face all up and it doesn't change anything. That I'm gonna get what I want. But I got that from her, right? This woman was delusional as shit, right? My mom would come on Kendra G and be like, I want a man that makes $700,000. Miss Barb, you got Miss Barb, you don't got no teeth in your mouth. And that's my mom. She really believed that a man that makes $700,000 will fuck with her with no teeth in her mouth, 3 baby daddies, crazy as shit, mental illness, on dope, everything. She really believed that. So I really believe that me at 5'7", 5'9", excuse me, let me correct that. I really believe that I can go up in a spot and climb a 6'2" woman. I really believe that. I really believe that when I'm moving around and I'm on my shit, I can tell a girl and her partner to come. Let's get it in. Bring your friend. Excuse me? Yeah. I really believe that. First of all, when you're in sales, when you sell things, you have to be delusional because you think everything's about to be a yes. Right? I'm delusional. Right? The reality that I live in, is not the reality that everyone else lives in. I firmly believe I can have it my way. I firmly believe in my abilities. I'm firmly, whatever areas that I'm lacking in, I can holler at someone in my phone that can help me see through something. But I really believe that I'm going somewhere. And the evidence of my past keeps going like this too. But that's because of belief though. Because when I'm around tall guys, I don't feel short. When I'm around a guy with a better car than me, I'll be like, oh, that shit is dope. Good for that nigga. I'm delusional, right? I'm not surprised when a girl gives me her number. Fuck. I'm not like a woman fucking me is not. It's not a privilege. Not to me. It's same. It's not a. I'm delusional like that. Like, yeah, of course you gave me some pussy. Why wouldn't you? I'm who I am. I'm a legend in my shit. You're a legend in your shit. Legends meet up and bang. What's the problem, right? So, for your mother and your father, you want to lean into, like, okay, well, what did they give you though? Not what they did to you. What did they give you? My mom gave me rebellion. She gave me understanding. She gave me the ability to be delusional. Another one. This is a thing I used to hate her for, but I get it. She was very childlike. She would hang with a lot of young people, right? I wouldn't hear from her for 6, 7 months. Then she called my phone from a random. I'm like, who that? Like, what? Oh, this is such and such from down the street. I'm like, they 21. They just, what are y'all doing? Oh, we just playing cards and shit. This right here, though, the worst times in my life is when I'm not childlike. When I start thinking like, okay, there's adulting which means, all right, we got to pay these bills. We got to put shit on auto pay. But after that's over, if you don't go back to being immature as fuck, you're going to age yourself, right? When it's time to adult, you put the uniform on. But when you're not, go back to a kid. If you're my age, you need to be watching Saved by the Bell reruns. You know why? Because when you see Screech, it's going to bring back something of you. You need to watch those old rap videos. You don't have to fuck with things now just because they're new and you're trying to stay trendy. What does it give you when you look at it? You have to go to the space that made you feel like a kid. Because if you don't, you're going to start talking like a grown-up. Remember in the movie Pan, Robin Williams' character is Peter Pan. He forgets. Now, this is a message to guys. Here's if you're a dude and you want to know if you found the one, right? Whatever that looks like, I'm gonna tell you how. Here's how you'll know if you'll find the one. In the movie Pan, Peter grows up. He forgets who he is. He's doing corporate work. He can't attend his son's games. He doesn't play around. He's stuck up, right? Some way, somehow, Peter finds his way back to Neverland. So he's with the Lost Boys who have never grown up. And because they never grown up, they can eat food that's not there. So Peter, the grown Peter, he's looking at the food. I don't see anything. But the Lost Boys are eating. They are in a reality that he does not know about. And the main thing he doesn't know about is that he's fucking Peter Pan. And there's a thing in the movie reminding him that he's Peter Pan. You know you found the right woman when she reminds you who you are. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. When Peter reminds himself that he's Peter Pan and he has the ability to fly, but he has to find a happy thought. Something that makes him real, real happy, right? And now he can fly. He can even wrestle his shadow, right? Peter can wrestle his shadow, right? Now, here's the thing about that interesting thing. They created it in a happy ending, right? Because Peter, in real time, had a wife. But she don't know he's Peter Pan. Tinkerbell does. See, in the movie, they make Peter go back to his wife. I'm writing a story. The new narrative is, fuck all that. Go with Tinkerbell. Fuck that. Fuck that. Go with Tinkerbell. Who said that movie gotta go like that? Who? No. Go with Tinkerbell. See, for regular morality, yeah, he needs to go back there. No, fuck no. That's Peter Pan. You bring your wife to Tinkerbell. That's how that has to go. That's how we have to do this. You don't leave Tinkerbell. Right? But in the story of, and the reason why it's like that is because many men aren't used to happy endings. the person that you really want. In male psychology, we write stories like, I gotta suffer and I don't get her because I gotta go back to this. New story. Peter Pan ends up with Tinkerbell and his wife got to shit or get off the pot. Period. It's too much history to be made. He's Peter Pan. And if he has to go back to the real world to where he's not that and he has to hide that he's Peter Pan, childlike. Some of you ladies out there have told a man who he was. You reminded him that he's Peter Pan. And you did the mistake too. You said, go home, Peter. And you hurt. And you was the bigger person. That's fucking Peter Pan. Tinkerbell. Get that nigga. If that woman on the other side is a legend, she got to recognize that that's Peter Pan. You are not wrong because you are like, man, you're Peter Pan. I reminded you that you're Peter Pan. Fuck that. Fuck that other narrative of that's how it goes. Peter Pan and Tinkerbell don't end up together because it's disruptive. Fuck that. Tinkerbell, don't let that nigga leave. Tell him no, nigga. We didn't go through all that for you to go back to normal. Nigga, I see you. She got to see you. And if she don't see you, that's her bad. But I'm getting my Peter Pan. Childlike. I could only say some shit like that because I had the mother that I had. Where I'm like, why do these stories just go this way? And what is it in male psychology where you don't get happy endings? What is it about the male psychology where the only way you can grow is you got to lose the love of your life. You got to use the best thing that happened to you. You have to pick the narrative over the fact that you're Peter Pan. Me, myself, if someone showed me that I'm Peter Pan, I'm a bet on myself and believe that I can bring worlds together. But if I can't, I'm going to get my happy ending. Fuck that. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why go through all this? Why go through all this just to suffer where you don't get the love of your life at the end of the thing? Like that's going to add to the story. That's what we're used to. But we're from hip hop and we're from the 90s and we write our own story where, no. Who said that's the happy ending? Tinkerbell's a fucking fairy. Peter's a... Do you remember the movie? Tinkerbell had the ability to become grown so he could get the pussy. Do you see? She was a fairy, but she can come big though. I'm fucking with Tinkerbell. I suggest all you, whatever your life look like, if you got that, we gotta write new happy endings. We gotta. Who said that it gotta go like that? And who said that you're gonna lose? Why can't you get everything? Right? But it only comes like this. We gotta be childlike, right? We have to be. We have to do the things and go into spaces that made us laugh the hardest. We have to remind ourselves that we're all still just grown ass kids. We just got bills. We cannot accept, we can get older. We don't have to accept that we're old. You know what people do with old things? They discard it, right? They don't value it, they don't cherish it. It's a way to devalue people. We can get older, right? Because that's a beautiful thing, right? But we don't have to be old. And the way that we remain ourselves is we have to lean into the things that make us laugh hysterically. We have to put ourselves in environments where it's spontaneous. Like when we were kids, we just did shit. Who said you can't do that? Oh, I'm 40. Now here comes the, like, we trick ourselves into hypertension and all this shit. Cause I'm 40, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Like we start behaving how we think a 40-year-old should behave. I think we gray ourselves. I'm 41. I got a YN go. Because I know the things that'll keep me young. Right? I know the things that'll keep me young. I know the people that'll keep me young. I know the places that'll keep me young. I know the music that'll keep me young. I know the fun that'll keep me young. I know the deviancy that'll keep me young, right? So when I'm 60, I'm still a YN nigga. I don't have to dress like them. I don't have to be in the same spots as them. But there is a more age appropriate shit. But like, damn, like you ain't got to be washed up. So childlike. Barb was very immature, very childlike, and I hated it because I needed a mother that was mature. But as a woman and as a human, I would have kicked it with her all day. She was a fucking turn up. Drinks on deck. Barb be having money to spend. She ain't stingy with her money. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same way. I'm a fucking turn up. And because I'm able to do this with our relationship now, I'm a really turn up. Because it's really like, yeah, do the thing, right? So I'm rebellious because Barb rebellious. Understanding. I'm hella delusional. I'm hella childlike. Last one and most important one. Don't tell Umar said this. Well, he going through his own thing, huh? This a big one. My mother was a dark-skinned woman, but she wasn't black. This is part of my superpower. I just show up like this. I'm not black though. I don't fit into that shit. I'm not in the black app. And when it comes on me, I rebel. I don't. Mm-mm. The illest thing about Barb used to listen to James Taylor. Like in her mind, she was like a valley girl, right? If she thought of herself as a black woman, I think she would have had more pain. If she tried to show up as a black female, she had more pain. She tried her best to remove herself from blackness. But you know what niggas say? That's self-hate. But yourself is not outside of your body, right? And it wasn't her skin per se. It was the app. It was the program and the frequency associated with black. And what is that? Lack, depression, anxiety, right? When you identify as black, it comes with a lot of rules. It comes with a group identity, right? It comes with these traditions that you don't necessarily know if it works for you or not. When you say that you're black, you are saying you're identifying with an idea. And Barb's superpower is she wasn't that. She was very much an individual. And that's where I get my individuality from. I'm very much an individual to a fault, right? And Barb was like that too. When she wasn't going crazy, the lady did her own thing, right? And women that identified as black used to hate my mom's freedom. My mother operated very freely, right? Very like her social awareness was off a little bit because she was that free. So a lot of cues in black culture of how to pick up on danger and certain shit, the woman was always in her head. She was always around danger, but in her head, I think she had Whitney Houston going on. You give good love, you give my ta baby. Tomorrow you give good love. And people could be banging guns. It's junkies and shit over here. Bitches on the blade right here. And my mom is literally, you give good love. That's shit is going on in her head. She does not see this. So when we would move somewhere, I'm like, yo, you know, we live next to the dope spot. we move next to the spot. But she don't hear that. She don't see that. She got Tracy Chapman going on in her head. Do 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 do. I got it fast, come. She got that shit going on in her head. So much so that she's around pure danger. She does not know it. And because she didn't know it, when she started doing things with these people and they about to knock her upside her fucking head, she's like, "What I do?" So she wasn't a black woman. Chocolate, but she wasn't a black woman. She didn't vibe off that. If my mom was alive right now, if she was young, they would hate her on TikTok because she is doing her own thing. She wouldn't give a fuck about no Kamala. She don't care. She don't. It does not resonate to her like the cultural shit to her. The world that she lived. Remember, she's delusional and childlike, so she's living in her own like alternative reality. You know what I'm saying? And that was her superpower until she just ran out of gas. So for me, I had 7 years of grieving. For me, because I didn't say what I really thought of her as a mother, I was trying to love and light for it. For me, it was a hard journey because there really is a separation between your parents and their humanity, right? See, you as a parent, you shield your child away from your humanity. So they only know you as a mother and a father. But that nigga you copping dope from, he know you as a junkie. Your kids don't know you as that. If you want to heal your children and you want them to show up as balanced people, You don't have to tell them everything, but you have to make them aware of your humanity before your humanity brushes up against them and they are forced to look at you a certain type of way because of the pain that you're giving them. You have to tell your kids your secrets. You have to. You have to tell them if you smoked weed before. You have to. First of all, you're not authentic talking to them a certain type of way and you out. If you don't want your daughter to be your hoe, tell her why. Because you did it and here's why you don't think it's a good idea. But she's allowed to go her own fucking path, you hypocrite. If your daughter want a thought, why can't she? You did it because I want my kid to have better. So tell them the truth. And if you a man, it's so weird. Like, you want to turn someone else's daughter out, but you don't want your daughter to do what someone else's daughter is doing. So then I have to ask you as a man, when you're doing this shit with someone else's daughter, is it bad? Are you doing a bad thing? Because if it's bad, let your daughter behave the same way the chicks you fuck with behave. What you're asking for the chick from these women, allow another man to ask your daughter for the same shit. The way that you treat these women, allow another man to do the same thing. The way you slut these women out, allow another man to slut your daughter out. It shouldn't be nothing wrong with it, right? Because you're not doing a bad thing when you're with these women, right? What you need them to do, what you're asking of them, how you handle them, that's not a bad thing, right? Because surely, like, how you are with someone else's daughter, someone else can be that way with your daughter, right? It's all fair in the game, unless you're doing something that you don't even respect because you don't want a man doing it to your daughter. That's not righteous. If you could slut a woman, someone else's daughter out, your daughter can do the same thing, unless what you're doing to someone else's daughter is bad. So then go to your daughter and tell her as a man how you treat these women, and you don't want her to be with anyone like you. Find a man better than you, but you're not going to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to preach one thing to your daughter, but do the opposite to another man's child. You'll be mad as hell if a nigga crash your daughter car, right? You'll be mad as hell if how you show up with another man's daughter and someone do that to yours. You'll be mad because you don't even believe what you're doing is righteous. If you can be a poly relationship with with some women, so can your daughter. Your daughter can choose a man that got other women. You don't want that. So is your poly situation bad then? Is what you're doing non-righteous? Because why can't she follow after her dad? We want to get to the place to where your children are able to merge the human and the parent. You not no, I don't think you say everything, of course. You know what I mean? Certain, it's a time and a place, but I do think that it's not wise to show up in that app as mom and dad, especially if you're not good at it. Like, if you're not a natural, like by nature, just in you, a mother and father, stop showing up like that. Just take the whole shit off and be natural with your kids. Some people like, man, I ain't never curse in front of my daddy. So what? So what? He might not be in the dad app. So they have a certain kind of relationship. Man, I never did that with my mom and my dad because there's a production up. So your mother and your father and then people from the old school gave us a false reality. That's not who they really are. They did not practice what they preached to us. They told us a bunch of shit that they don't even do. They told us how to move in a way that they don't even move. They was doing all type of shit. And guess what they say? Well, I don't want this for them. But why you want it for yourself? Why do you want it for yourself? So I encourage anybody out there to, if you're struggling with this relationship you have with your parents, or you are the parent and you're struggling with the relationship with your children, when it comes to your babies, start being real. Especially these young people, they'll respect you. Stop being fake. Stop being fake. Show them the music you listen to. Stop being so judgy. Let them know that you was at Freaknik. Let them know you used to bust checks and you hustled and you was at the parties and you did drugs and you did all. Let them know that, so they can take the thing off of you of like, yo, man, if your kids are not saying, man, my mom and dad is cool as fuck, you failed. If your kids aren't telling other kids, man, my dad is the shit. My mom is cool. If they're not telling other kids, bragging about how you get down and how you move, how you dress, how you show up, how you ride, you know what I'm saying? When their friends come over the house and meet you, they're like, and they're enamored and shit. If you don't have that, then it's a production. The kids don't even like you because you're trying to show up as a dad, and that ain't who you are, bro. It's too much of an app. It's too much of an app on that. Just show up as Tyrone, nigga. Just show up as Bobby, and just deal with your son that way, because he's a YN, and you over here on this fucking Islam shit, and nigga, he's a YN. You need to tell him he got guns. He's gonna shoot his balls off the way he carry it. You need to get in control. Right, and some of you women are you're hoeing now. The more your kids age, you go back to what you was doing before you had them. You're outside. You're doing shit. Tell them about the life. You're still doing it. You got a 20-year-old daughter, you 40-something-year-old, and you got niggas in your DM. And you sending them sweet fucking, he's sending you dick pic. You got the same thing going on with her. It's just she's dealing with 20-year-olds and you're dealing with 40, 45, 50-year-old, 60-year-old men. But the men are doing the same exact shit the YNs are doing. The only difference is after he sent a dick pic, you're like, do you got a pension? But you're doing the same shit. So come to your daughter real. Like, I know what you're on, love. Shit, I'm doing it right now. Right? Tell your daughter how to put a condom on. Tell your daughter when she's having sex with dudes to keep checking to make sure that condom is on. Right? Tell her how to put it on with her mouth to make sure it's on. See, you can't. Oh no, that's because you're in a goddamn production. You are actively doing the behavior. Why wouldn't you talk to them about that? They're in it. Because if you don't tell them, the street's going to tell them. The way them old niggas, black folks raised us, I respect their strength, but the way they parented and was hypocrites and all that, we can't do that with these YNs. They not going. So I advise you, so your children don't look at you how I looked at Miss Barb at the beginning, I suggest you come to them human. Right? It's cool if your babies love you, but it hit different when they respect you. So make sure the memberships this Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern, will start how to heal the shadow in the male body. Right? We're going to deal with the shadow work and being in the male body. Like, what does that look like, right? So that'll be a live stream for members. So I look forward to that. And if this was fire, where's the super chat? Fuck. Right? It's tax time. Where the fuck? Where's the coins? If you heard some shit and but only if you heard some shit and you thought that it was fire. It's tax time. Don't shortchange me. The fuck? Don't come up and soak up all my shit, right? And just, thanks, Ken. Give me $5. Give me 10, 20, 100. Who the fuck do you think I am? Right? Don't, because I'll go back to comments and read, oh, Ken, that was great. I can't tell. You ain't give me no money. I can't tell. You see the Cash App right there? Stop acting like I'm not a nigga with waves. Stop acting like that, right? Stop acting like I'm not a nigga with waves. You see my shit. I'm in my 40s. I got a head full of hair. I'm out here. I'm mashing for my rations. Much respect to you. Even if you wish me the opposite, sooner or later we'll all see who the prophet is.